Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be continuing my analysis of Sundowning by Sleep Token. These videos are best watched in order, so if you're just stumbling upon this one, I'll leave a link up at the top to the playlist for this entire album, so feel free to check that out, because I will be talking a little bit about what I consider the story so far to be in the album to kind of give us a big picture. So feel free to go get caught up on that. But today we're going to be looking at the song Sugar. It follows the song Gods on the album. And up to the point of Gods, I interpreted this album as one large ritual that Vessel is undergoing to summon Sleep, who I consider to be this person who has passed on to the afterlife. I interpreted specifically Gods as being his lowest point. Basically, he has been broken down physically and mentally. There's a lot of self-harm motifs in the lyrics up to that point. Obviously, he is emotionally wrecked in his longing and need for sleep to come back to him. And that's the whole point of this ritual, right? So in this lowest point, I believe that Gods is the point of the album where sleep actually appears to him and actually begins to, physically be with him again, at least for now. So let's get into the next song, Sugar. I'm going to run this video a little bit differently than I normally do. I have pulled up the lyrics. I'm going to talk about the lyrics as we go, as I stop. Let me know if you prefer this way or for me to do a full lyrical breakdown afterwards, but I'm going to try this as an experiment for this video. So let's get into it. Very like ethereal, creepy. Adding some synth in the background. Some bass coming in. I like this counter melody thing over top of his vocals, too. So clearly this gets us through what's the chorus of this song. I do want to talk a little bit about instrumentation first. It starts off very bare bones. We just have kind of a synth arpeggiated thing going on that's carrying the chord progression. It's in stark contrast to Gods, which was a very heavy song, so it's almost like the calm after the storm. After the big breakdown, we're kind of left with this like lullaby sounding thing. So maybe he's like coming to. The lyrics in the verse are very clearly him talking about sleep, in my opinion, where we get some very telling lines where it seems like sleep is messing with him a little bit, needing something from him, complicating things on purpose to try to draw something out of him, which is kind of what I interpret with the idea, though we never eat, we still know how to feed. I think this kind of lends credence to the idea that sleep is not like in an actual physical form. She's like a spirit, since we get this like never eat thing here. And she is feeding off of him in some way, probably feeding off of his pain, feeding off of his emotional vulnerability. And through this ritual, she has kind of hooked him. He is basically living to appease her with this chorus, which is very simple. Sugar, I've developed a taste for you. Obviously, there's kind of a cool double meaning here, with sugar being, an affectionate term for, a lover, and also being the most addictive, one of the most addictive substances, if not the most addictive substance that you can partake in. It's been shown that sugar is more addictive. You can't really go without it as much. It's more addictive than, some other substances that we would consider drugs, like caffeine or even some other, more hard drugs. So that's a really cool double entendre there. Instrumentally, it's kind of interesting how this develops. We've got some synth stuff coming up in the background, some bass added to the bottom, and then I really like how simple and repeated the chorus is. But there is like a counter melody with some it's like in the upper registers going on in the synth. It kind of deviates and then catches up to the vocal melody. I think it's kind of cool. Talking about Vessel's vocal delivery here, obviously he's following this kind of creepy, kind of muted idea here with these falsettos, just keeping everything really low key for the moment. So I'm going to back up a little bit and we'll jump right into it again. Yeah, you hear that like bell melody there? I think it's cool. Oh, that's such a good harmony. Oh, that's so fun. I feel like everything is getting progressively louder. I think he's doubled up some vocal lines here to give it a little more oomph. So before we get into this next part, let me talk about the second verse as well. We get this motif multiple times in this album of kind of arms wrapped around. So here it says, "My arms keep you in the room, barely let you move." It's used two ways, from what I can tell, and when it shows up on this album. So it's either like a comforting thing, or in this case, it's very clearly being compared to chains, right? Wrapping chains. And we even get this addiction line here, "addicted to the pain," which shows us that it's taking the theme and strengthening it, right? So the chorus is supposed to be like an addiction thing, right? Develop the taste, can't kick the habit kind of thing. Oh, here we go. This is cool chord progression here too. Oh, the falsetto over top of it. Classic Sleep Token drop. Man, he's putting some sauce on it. Vocally. Gosh, alright, so it gets intense, and I think that the song sets this up well because it's slowly getting louder and louder, as most Sleep Token songs go, the second verse I felt like it was louder than the first. And then we get this driving section here where we've got kind of like a really fast kind of hi-hat section in the drums that give us a lot of forward momentum right before we hit the drop. And we finally kind of got to Vessel like questioning Sleep, right? Almost challenging her, saying, hey, you're trying to, test me with all these challenges that you're trying to put me through, and all these, like, this pain and the suffering you're trying to extract from me. But it's almost like there's this sunk cost fallacy going on where he just can't give up. He's come too far. He's given up too much to give in. It's almost playful in the way that this comes off. It doesn't come across like it's really, really making a jab at her, if that makes sense. But we do get this really bizarre, vague lines, like things we buried low coming to the surface now. Almost like he was expecting this. Almost like he knows that there's kind of, like, she's got some secrets, like she's not everything that he thinks that she is. There's some dark side to her, which I think makes sense in the context of the next few albums. But at this point, everything is still kind of through rose-tinted glasses. I do like that we've got some very interesting, like, belts from Vessel in his vocals that are more of kind of like a generic rock sounds. It's kind of the first time on this album, I would say, we've really heard something like that. It's very much, yeah, like a generic alt-rock vocalist where he's got some, like, oomph on his vocals. He's really giving it his all. I kind of like it as a nice change-up. Like this, yeah. So we're back to the first idea of the chorus here. I can hear that, like, that bridge vocal, like, really quiet in the background. And just like that, just everything drops out. We're right back to the intro idea. There's that isolated counter melody. Got like a pad in the background that's ominously hanging there as we fade out. It almost sounds like some of the effects on This Place Will Become Your Tomb right here. With the pad that's going on there. Whoops. Don't want to start again. So that is Sugar. I think I'll kind of stick to my interpretation here of this being kind of Vessel and Sleep together in the same room at last. And some people have kind of likened the song to the idea of like foreplay, where they are, like, Vessel's taking jabs at her, like provoking her, but he's not doing it in like a menacing way, right? It's like a playful way. I do think it betrays a little bit of what we'll find in the next albums, where Vessel is aware that Sleep is basically using him, but he's okay with it because it's almost like an addiction. So we will move on to the next song. As you can see, it skipped to it there for a second. Say That You Will, and the next video talk more about kind of the progression of the story. But those are my thoughts on Sugar. It's a nice entry into Sundowning. It's more of a straightforward song, I would say. It has more just generic rock sensibilities, when you get to the drop with the guitars and his vocal delivery. It takes a while to get there, unlike a lot of rock songs, though, which I think is kind of cool for people who might not think that they will enjoy Sleep Token if they're more of like an alt rock fan. I think you could show them this song, and if you look at the listens on Spotify, the number of listens that it has, or number of plays, I should say, it's like the second most played on the album. So I think that kind of is a testament to its broad appeal. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I'll see you on the next one, where we will look at Say That You Will by Sleep Token. See ya.